Hello there, everybody. It's Sue here. Nice to see you all. We've got our New Year workshop for LoveBiz, and we have rather awesome Clare McCabe from Purple Star Design and Publishing. And also, if you hear in the background, we have an extra little person, which is though my toy poodle. So apologies for that. So I've just mentioned Clare has been a member with us for 7 years, nearly 7 years, about to start into the seventh year. So it's great to have you here. And if you have seen Clare before, yes, she did a Canva workshop for us a good few months ago. So hopefully you haven't seen it, go and watch that on replay. So today's workshop, how to create and publish a brilliant business book. I'm going to pass over to Clare now to introduce herself. Thank you, Clare.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sue. Drone out the dogs. I might mute at any point because I'm getting over a cough, so apologies now if it goes quiet, but it's better than hearing me choke. I have a in-flying cat at times, so I'll just fling him back out again if he does make an appearance. But thank you all for joining. I'm very excited to share the business book that's going to change your life. Well, it will help. That's all that we can promise. So I'll go straight in if that's okay. We will have questions at the end after the presentation, but feel free to drop them in the chat as we go along and I'll catch up with them at the end. I just need to share my screen. We've already practiced this. It should work. If I could just get a little thumbs up that you can see that. Fabulous. Thank you. Oh. So my credentials are, I've been a graphic designer for, well, more than 30 years, but it's round it off a little bit. So traditional graphic designer from a print base before the days of computers. So time served, if you like. But I've been publishing books for my authors for about 7 or 8 years now. And that came about from a client request because I designed their website and they wanted to create a really lovely book to help market their TP business. So getting that into Amazon and published, and we made a #1 bestseller, first hit. It was quite a challenge. It took us about 3 weeks to get that up on Amazon. So I came out of that and thought, I can't let that experience go to waste. And from the back of that, I've published many authors. Last year, I had 100% hit rate on #1 bestsellers. So all my authors went into that category. Can never guarantee it. So I'm really proud that all of them achieved that last year. That's something that it just warms my heart when it happens, and I never know when it's going to happen until the launch day. So it's always a nice achievement. So, excuse me. Today, I hope to give you an outline of how to create and publish a book, inspire you to want to create yours, and how it may help your business. All of this is from my own experience. If you have any questions, we'll answer those at the end. If you want a further chat, a discovery call, no obligation. Let's just get online and we'll talk about it later. But hopefully this will inspire you enough to ask some more questions or at least want to start writing. So why does your business need a book? These are just some of the reasons that business owners see the value in creating a book. So it raises your profile and status as expert in your field. People still have that, oh, you've written a book reaction to handing over a book. I'm sure the authors in the room will confirm that. It's a great opportunity to share your know-how experience. When you get published on Amazon, you reach new global audiences, people that you'd never ever meet normally, even if you've got a big coverage on social media, and it gives you a new reason to market as well. I find a lot of my authors are a bit shy on social media, a bit shy about marketing the business, but I find that marketing a book, it's a product. So it's not quite about all of them about themselves, even though you've put your heart and soul into it. But buy my book is much easier sometimes than buy my services, as I've found. So you hear this a lot, best business card ever. Have you got a card? No, but I've got a book. Would you like a copy? So it just elevates your presence in a networking scenario, maybe. I like books because it's a brilliant lead magnet. Not only does it show off what you know, what you've experienced, but it also elevates you to the next big item that you might want to sell. You use it as a lead magnet, and it is a bit trickier on Amazon. You have to be a bit more clever because you don't know who buys your book off of Amazon. But that's why we put lots of codes back to your website. Get in touch if you want to share this. Here's my book bonuses. Sign up for the details. So you're getting people that you might not have met before coming back to you because they've found value in your book. Ultimately, books, along with do-it-yourself courses, people like to buy them and think they'll read it all or do it all. But I've found, and from experience, it gives you an insight how to that person works, but ultimately they think, oh, I'll let you do it. Let me work with you because you know what you're talking about. So that's why, as a lead magnet, I think it's just a brilliant piece of marketing collateral. As I said, access into international sales channels, people you never meet before, and it will increase your mailing list signups. So social media, your engagement, your followers are all wonderful. It's a key point of marketing, but you get those people onto your mailing lists, they're far more likely to buy, they're far more interested in what you want to do, and you own your mailing list. So Twitter, well, we don't talk about Twitter, do we? But if Facebook blocks your account, you've lost all your contacts there. If you've already got them on a mailing list, no problem. You give them a link to your new page. Oh, not working. There we go. Just a few more items. So can open up networking and speaking opportunities. A lot of my authors go on to become paid speakers, which is a nice little sideline if you fancy doing that. Some of my authors want to do it to leave a legacy. You know, they've worked, one author in particular, I remember saying, no, I've worked 30 years at doing what I do, and not one of my family members knows. My kids don't know. You know, if I write this down, not only will they have the residual income, but they'll actually understand me a little bit better. Now, that wouldn't be my driver to write a book, but yeah, it's something to consider. So the other thing, when you have a book, you've got a book launch, you've got book signing events, you've got all of that activity and excitement to market about your business and yourself. And it will raise interest in people that might just lurk. So we all know there are lurkers on social media and your marketing. They might apply for your print or your marketing collateral that you've put out, but they don't actually raise their hand and say, oh yeah, I'm interested. So a book is a much more of a talking point. PR with the media. Amy, today, we had a conversation yesterday, and her book is about to launch on February the 29th. But because of what she's written about in her book, she had a reason to contact the media, and a press pack was created rather quickly. So do watch this space. That should be interesting. If she hadn't had a book, she could have still contacted it, but it adds far more kudos that it's going into publishing. Excuse me. So another author of mine used his book to attract investors to his business. He wanted to go on to the next level from a £1 million turnover business. It's now 6 million. They've got investors from all over the world. And I often see him on social media with his book in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Australia. So I'm thinking, I wish I was that book on those trips, but you know, some part of me is gone, so that's good. And as I've mentioned before, create residual income. Now, I'd be lying if I said it's going to make me a millionaire, but you know, stranger things have happened. But my one rule with residual income is the more you promote, the more you will sell. It's a basic law of all marketing activity. So we'll get on to some of the juicy bits. How a book works hard for you. So imagine you've poured out your heart and soul and you've written everything that you can about your book, and you can then use that as the best introduction to you and what you do and your business. So if hopefully best-selling author, but a published author carries a lot of kudos too. It does make people go, impressed. But you get noticed on your terms, and it's absolutely with your script, your words, your energy, your vibe. So why Amazon? It's kind of want to have that badge of #1 bestseller is absolutely brilliant. And I do issue a gold badge to all my authors that get that. And we use that as another marketing reason going forward. So even once you've published, you keep promoting. As I've said before, biggest book selling channel, worldwide distribution. And Amazon doesn't charge you to publish your book, and they print on demand. So what that means for an author is you've written your book and you've got it published and you've got it designed and it's up there and out there, but you don't have to buy stock of it. And that's really useful. It creates fluidity in your business. You're not holding on, you've not got a spare room full of boxes, of books. You're not anxious, I suppose. It removes some of the anxiety of that investment and will it go anywhere? So there's no stock to store, no order filling or logistics to manage or pay for. As I've said, to distribute worldwide would cost us far too much. And it's kind of like a job done for you. Also, amends or new editions can be created without you throwing away that spare room boxes full of books. So they have just a limited amount that they'll sell. You can have next day your book, but the bonus for you is that you can buy at cost. So you get your books almost what a printer might charge you without having to buy 300 or 500 books. So it just helps with the cash flow. A lot of people argue, don't Amazon take all the money? Well, they do take a bit of the money, but they have the emailing lists, they have the distribution, they have the reputation. So there are ways to publish or print your book, which I can also help authors with. But for the majority of business owners who are creating the book as a lead magnet, it's not something that they really want to start navigating international logistics for. So if it's there, use it. If you are unhappy with the amount of royalties that Amazon don't pay you, then there's ways around that too. But Amazon is a cost-effective way to do that. So 3 Ps of creating a best-selling book: production, promotion, and publication. Production, first of all. Always start. Sometimes I get handed a manuscript, edited, ready to go. Brilliant. I do mentor and coach quite a few of my authors this year, and that's been really it's been really beneficial for them because they've got a goal in mind. They know who they're publishing for, they know the structure of the book, and I've always half designed it before they've even finished writing it. But it's understanding, like any marketing activity, what's your goal with it? Who are you selling it to? And that then helps you answer the question, what do you want to write? So, excuse me, I just have to take a slurp. So 5 ways to create your book. I've had quite a few authors that are quite prolific in their writing as business owners. So they either blog, or they've written a course, or they've got content in PDFs and top tips all over the place. And that quite often is a bit of a repurposing job. So we're bringing it together in a cohesive manner so it makes sense as a book. But I've had about 4 or 5 authors that have created best-selling books by repurposing what they've already created. So Transcribe, that's about using online software. I can't remember I can't remember the name that I've used before, but I'm writing my book by transcribing. So that means I'm talking it into my Word document, changing the odd spelling so I can understand it if I come back, adding punctuation as I go along. But I'm not the quickest typer in the world, so I didn't want that to be a reason not to finish my book. So Transcribe, or if you know an audio typist, of course. Whatever works for you, the important thing is to get that knowledge out of your head and get it onto the paper. So my biggest hint to any potential writer is just write. Write if you think it's rubbish, write if you think it's brilliant, just write. We can always go back and edit. You can go back and proofread it before anybody else sees it. But the important thing is don't stop. Just keep writing. Fourth option is probably one of my favorites. I can help you do that. Get a good writing coach. They'll keep you accountable. They'll keep you on target. They'll offer advice, and they'll help structure your book as well before it's even onto the page. And if you really don't want to write it, but you have the finances, ghostwriter is always a good option. So they're professional writers. They'll understand your market, and they'll interview you brilliantly and write it for a fee. So I've written those in almost order of cost implications, but all of those are options to just get it down. So top tips for writing is start. I start most of my authors off with a free writing 20 minutes. And what we do in that, I don't ask any questions. They just start writing about something, anything, absolutely. If it's relevant to your business or not, just get something down there and don't stop. And so for 20 minutes, we then find out how much they can write from that. And that means that we have an idea of their speed. And most of my authors are really surprised how much they can write in 20 minutes. So it's a bit like anything that's out of your normal job or your normal day. It's like, oh, I've only got 20 minutes. Well, use those 20 minutes and write. If you've got an hour, even better. Some people say I'm going to allocate all day. I don't think all day writing always works. It's about finding your style, finding what works for you. If getting up a bit earlier of the day and then writing for 20 minutes or an hour or 2 hours is the best way for you to download it, do it. If it's in the evening or when the kids are away or whatever works. I had one author who wrote a chapter a weekend because we gave her a deadline and she said, I can do a chapter a weekend. And she got a book published to the deadline and was really happy with the way that she created. And she also wrote while she was on aeroplanes, which I couldn't. I'd get too distracted with the free films and food, but she wrote her chapters while she travelled, and she did a lot of travelling, so she knew how many times she would be on an aeroplane, and she just switched off and did the chapters. So there are lots of ways. It's about understanding how you work best. Even if you don't feel like writing, write something every day. If you get stuck, look. I'm hesitant to say look at what other people do in your field, but do some research, especially if your book is about facts and figures or is referring to actual other authors' content. Always acknowledge. don't copy. But research can spur on some new ideas and help you think about it differently. Personally, my research would be audio or video. So YouTube's a good place to research. But I've also avoided my competitors, if you like, in the field of book coaching, because I don't want to create an imposter syndrome. So keep in your lane. Nobody does it like you do it, and keep going. And as the last 2 points say, write some more and then keep on writing. Nobody has the experience you have. Nobody has the skills that you have. Just get it down onto the sheet of paper, and then others can come in and edit, proofread it, design it, get it published for you. So the book design part of it, the title and subtitle are important. One, you want it eye-catching. You want to spur on some imagination from the title. But the subtitle is a brilliant SEO opportunity, especially if you're using Amazon. So it's always good to get a second opinion. It's always good to have a play with different texts and phrases there. Excuse me. So editing, cover design, pay a designer. Obviously, they're key things that I would always say subcontract out. Whether you use somebody you know or somebody you find online, or make sure that you use professional in the right time. I don't edit. I use editors that I've used for many years, and because they're good at what they do. Words are some people's forte, and design is another's. So where you can, get that done away from your own constraints, I would say, almost. But do it yourself. If that's your budget and what you can afford, then to get it out there is the most important thing. So I would never say don't do it yourself, but if you can, do employ the right professionals for each section. So the edit is good for the readability, cover is good to be eye-catching. Even online, people say, oh, that's only for book shops. It does matter what it looks like online as well. Promotion. The best question I get asked is, oh, I'm going to write a book. When should I start promoting? Start now. I've already started promoting that my book's going to be ready this year. It's a bit of a brave comment, as a friend on here would say, but if I don't make it accountable, then it might not happen. I've got lots of other things to do, and my clients always come first. I always say, oh, I'm too busy. I've got books to publish and websites to build and branding to do. But if I don't promote it, it might not get done. But if you start talking about your book as soon as you know that you're going to do it, it's a chance to rally your troops. It's a chance to get your tribe on side. It's a chance to make everybody want to ask you about your book. And you're creating an excitement that helps streamline your marketing. So they'll know it's about a book if they were following you on social media. They'll realise that, oh, she's going on about the book again, let's move on. Or is there a wait list? When can I buy it? When's the launch date? So creating a wait list is a great way to, one, build your marketing email listing, but you've got a captive audience of people that are really interested in your book. And that's the way that you create some excitement in the last month before you publish. And it's a way to keep people on side so they know they're getting some bonuses, they're getting some freebies, they know that they're special because you're telling them first. A few more ideas. Excuse me. So you're sharing top tips from your books. You might be sharing statements, you might be sharing a chapter, but But all of this will create an excitement for people to get involved with your book. It's almost like too much is not too much. Just keep talking about your book. Keep sharing your skills. It's an opportunity that you might not normally feel comfortable talking about yourself, but talking about a book, it keeps people engaged. And also share the special launch price offers if you're doing a launch price offer. Something I recommend, and then it consolidates people to buy on in a particular time frame. That helps with the #1 best-selling. But it keeps people interested, something to talk about when you meet them at networking. It's all that 5 pillars or 9 pillars of marketing. It's different touch points that make people want to ask you questions, not just about your book, but about you and your business as well. So just general marketing top tips, actually, just apply with turbo boost when you're launching a book. So it's consistent posting, helpful sharing and caring, top tips from your book, give some stuff away. So there's a launch price discount, launch day discount price. You might want to give away the first chapter, or just phrases or quotes that you've got in the book that are of interest. And again, back to the book bonuses, that's people who buy your book then get extra top tips or relevant to your business or a discount off a course that you're offering. So again, it's all that you're sharing and caring and giving something away. People like freebies still. And I always recommend have a page on your website as well. So people have one point of sign up for your wait list, look at the pictures of the book, have links to your social media so they can follow you and share. Again, just general ideas about using media to get noticed. So make specific videos about the book, people talking about your book, you talking about your book, graphics specific to your book. Look for podcasts that you can be a guest on or set one up to talk about the process or how it leads into your business. It might be just that launch that makes you think about all of the marketing within your business. As you can see, there's some animation on that slide. It's all about grabbing attention. I often recommend that authors print a specific flyer, or if they're going to lots of events, have something they can hand out. And as I said, we created a press release yesterday for an author. They're handy. You can have them on your website, and then if you get an inquiry from the media, it's whoosh straight out. You don't even have to think about compiling that. It's all ready to go. So why launch day is important. I did have one author says, oh, I won't be here on launch day. I'm on holiday. I went, cancel that holiday or change your launch day. She went, oh, I'll have it all set up on automation. Some things can be automated. I'm a great fan because it means things get done, but not on launch day. People want to see you online. They want to see you chatting. They want to, if you've got an event, it's a good time to have the event. You can have a Zoom online event. I did one recently, and the author read a bit from her book about it, and that engaged the 30 odd people that are on the Zoom. There was party hats, and we make a little bit of fun about it, but it is a special occasion. So follow up with everyone who said they'd buy a copy. I recommend that my authors do this from the very first time they say, I'm writing a book. So start making a note. Spreadsheet's obviously the best way, who it is, where they mentioned it, DM, email, etc. And don't be shy. I had one author wake up at 5 a.m. on the book on the day of her launch, and she direct messaged everybody, and it worked. Everybody came back, oh, thanks for the reminder. Thing with social media, you think you've posted a lot and people might have only seen one in 2 or 3 weeks of your posting, whereas you might have posted 3 times a day. So don't be shy. This is not the time to be too British. Get out there, shout from the rooftops. And that waiting list, email them the day before with the link. And 3 times on a launch day is not too much. First thing in the morning, it's today going by. Middle of the afternoon, I'm nearly at #1 bestseller. Have you bought your copy? Can you help? At the end of the day, okay, people have been busy. I'll extend the price for another 2 hours. So, you know, there's messages that you can get over there to extend reasons to be in touch. Follow up with any marketing, any event that you ever do. Thank everyone who purchased a copy. Remind those that haven't that you've still got a link. Share the link to review on Amazon. Amazon loves reviews. The more reviews you get, the more Amazon notices you. So it's a good way to create some activity on a platform that otherwise you wouldn't have any effect on. Have a book signing event a month after publication day. Now, this works in 2 ways. One, you encourage everyone to buy the book on the day, and then a month later, they bring that book and you sign it, and there's another event to promote your book. And as I've said before, keep on promoting that book. How are we doing for time, Sue? Okay, 20 minutes.
Oh, there. Sorry, by the time I muted, you'd see. Thank you.
So just finally, publishing. Things to consider. It is Amazon's platform, so you have to follow their rules. They're much nicer than they used to be, believe it or not. You can actually have online chats with them when things might not go quite right. But you always have to, everything takes 72 hours. So you might think your launch day is tomorrow, right, I'll put the book up. No, you have to have it ready before then, because if they're not making it ready, it's not their problem. That you have to allocate the time that they set up. So KDP account lets you publish, and whether that's a paperback or a Kindle version, it's a platform where they can check your artwork, make sure it's all tickety-boo, make sure that it will print properly and present properly on Kindle. Another big question I get asked, barcode to buy or not to buy. Amazon offer free barcodes, which is great if you're only ever going to use Amazon to distribute your book. If you've got a bookshop in 3 villages near you that you want them to sell your copy, then you will have to buy a barcode and separate. But you can still use Amazon to print that. You just have to buy the barcode, which is about £80–90 at the moment. And then you get the artwork and put it on the book. So it just leads to more flexibility if you buy, but like I say, if you're only ever going to use Amazon to distribute, then that's fine. If you're not sure, just go with the free version, and then you can always buy a copy later and then make a second edition of your book. There's always a way around it. Other things that you need to write for Amazon, it's good to have a synopsis of the book. The area where you describe your book, you've got 3,000 characters. So that's another great opportunity for SEO. Try not to repeat what you've put somewhere else, but it's a good place to write about the book, write about your ideal clients, and then write about you as the author, your skills, experience. When you publish your book, you have 3 categories to choose, and they can be the do or die sometimes of whether your book makes the #1. But my firm recommendation on that is always pick at least one category that is very relevant to your book. Now, sometimes authors' books get published and they come up as #1 in a category you haven't even chosen. But that's down to Amazon. As I've said in my first point, it's their rules. I think what happens is people might search you in certain keywords that you haven't thought of, and then that's created an avalanche of searches, and then that's why people that's why it comes up in a category, a different category. It's never really completely random, but it can be sometimes a bit surprising and exciting. So you have to think about some keywords and phrases for your book. That's different from your subtitle and title, but relevant to your business and who you want to attract. And again, it's kind of like, how would you search yourself on Google? How would you search your book on Amazon? So you're looking from the end users, not necessarily your knowledge or experience. All the books that I usually publish, I always do a Kindle version, excuse me. And that's because you have a different audience. The good thing is that you can put links in back to your website to sign up for book bonuses that they may want to then download. It's still a great marketing opportunity. But I mean, I have family members and friends and business owners that will never ever buy a book, but they'll always get a Kindle version, and vice versa. They don't have a Kindle, but they'll always buy a book. I'm a bit of in the middle, that I'll always buy an audio and I'll buy the book as well because I like making notes, but I like print, so what can I say? And then the last thing to consider is price. Have a look at what others are quoting. You don't really know how much your book is going to cost to print through Amazon until it's uploaded. But have an idea in mind, have a discount price in mind for launch day. Yes, Amazon take a lot of, they take a cost to print, they take a cost to deliver, and then they take a little bit extra because Amazon, it's their platform. But there are possibilities to make some money on this. It's just about having an idea for a bigger picture. This is, I would say, for your business, it's a marketing opportunity, not just a money-making opportunity. And remember, in all areas, be you, stay consistent with your brand in your book, plan with the end in mind, and less is more, so keep it simple. About your book, about your marketing, about what you offer, and keep it simple to make it easy for people to buy. So if you're bombarding them with lots of messages on one post, they won't know what to do. So always have a really good, clear call to action. And interesting keeps them interested. And giving away top tips to getting data is a marketing necessity. So, any questions? Oh, I've got some more slides. Shall I just go through those quickly?
Yes,
and
please.
I can switch off the big screen.
Yeah.
Ways to work with me. I'm happy to share any of that. So I do packages where you haven't written or packages where you have written. I'm doing a 1-day workshop in February somewhere in Leicestershire, and that's like an intensive day, planning your book, starting your writing, giving you confidence to get that done. Have done writers' weekends away, and I'll be doing one later in the year, subject to demand. And if you don't think you've got enough, let's just do an ebook. That's fine. It still has some of the same purpose. You can still put it on Kindle, still get some traction on that. And then I do different packages where I plan your chapters so you know what to do, and repurpose, write and structure your book. And the last thing is just book a strategy call with me. It's no obligation. I'm here to help. I'll stop the share now. Any questions? Are you still awake?
Claire, before I switch the video off, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I said to Claire at the beginning, I'm verbal. I don't think there's a book in me, to be honest. But actually, I know, Tana. But I'm really excited by that. I want to go and write a book now. I don't know what on, but I want to
My
go.
work here is done.
You so have a book in you, Sue.
but it might not be the book that I think about. A lot of you know me quite well, so yeah. But ladies, thank you so much. Stay on here, everybody. I am going to thank all of our people watching on replay for watching, and we'll see you soon. But for the people here in the room today, we will start our Q&A. Thank you.